Hello, everyone, and welcome to Champlin Park High School for CTN's live coverage of girls high school soccer. Tonight, a Northwest Suburban Conference showdown as the Rebels host the Coon Rapids Cardinals. Joe Young, Howie Shapiro, high above the action, and Howie, a Cardinal team coming in for a couple of wins in a row, looking like they really want to keep this momentum going.
You almost said hockey, didn't you?
Almost.
Almost. Yeah, they really do, and I think on paper they feel this is an opportunity for them to get a win, but they have to translate that onto the field, and Coach DeJoy, we'll talk as the game goes on, number of keys, what they need to accomplish, but this is definitely a winnable contest for the Cardinals.
Well, and a big win already as the Cardinals won the flip and got the wind at their back here for the first half. Here's a look at your starting lineups for the Cardinals. Taylor Nyland, Aaron Jenkins, Emily Koss, Allie Misquick, and Caitlin Ackerman up front. Or in the midfield, Maddie Bloomquist, the lone forward listed as a starter. Maddie Getchell, Callie Turner, Hannah Engen, and Courtney Ackerman at defense. Kayla Ross is in the nets. Midfielders for the Rebels, Haley Hardroder, Danny Johnson, Allie Carlson, and Ari Pogmani. The forward is Carly Martinson, Emma Perkins, Sydney Elena, Anna Kautzman, and the rest of the defenders.
Yes, they took it away from you a little too quickly.
Just a bit too early. Carson Dreyer is the goalkeeper.
In the Cardinals, what they wanted to get accomplished here, they want to continue to put a lot of deep pressure at all points of the field. Kind of, he relates it to Coach DeJoy kind of like a full court press in the NBA or in college basketball. They want to play with a quicker tempo. They can't hold the ball too long, and they want to make sure they get the first touch. Here's head coach Jeff DeJoy.
Long boot toward the net. Coming over to scoop it in is Carson Dreyer. And yeah, as we saw in the boys' game earlier, the wind definitely is both an assistant and a bit of a deterrent, as it makes it a lot harder to judge how much you need to put on the ball.
And they're still dealing with that same gust of wind. Here we thought, well, maybe as the night goes on, the wind will die down a little bit. So far, not.
Not yet, but the sun just down. I would be willing to say there's a good chance we'll see less wind in the second half. Getchell got there and played it off the defender. Oh, it went back off Getchell out of bounds, right. So it'll be a goal kick for the Rebels.
Ball totally in line by the Cardinals. Goal kick coming up for the Rebels.
There's head coach Callan Nimmer, her first season as the head coach for the Rebels. She had previously been in the boys program.
Rebels gaining control in their defensive end, play it long. A lot of Cardinals at the back end, and a Coon Rapids penalty. I think they say played it with a hand. So the free kick will at least allow the Rebels to push it deep into Coon Rapids territory here early in this first half.
Oh, in the boys' game, we talked about how the Cardinals would like to get the first tally. I think the Rebels here would love to get the first score and put some pressure on the Cardinals.
Ackerman trying to turn that one back up the sideline, went out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Rebels, handled by Emma Perkins. Stopped up by Getchell. And right back out off of Perkins. Ackerman for the throw-in for Coon Rapids. Bloomquist trying to send it toward the middle. Nyland had a header on it. Settled there by Hardgroder. Rebels play it up the far side. Turned around quickly by the Rebels on defense. That is not Gallegos out there. I'm not sure who's wearing number 34. How he shuffles through his many notes.
That would be Courtney Ackerman. She is wearing 34, and Maddie Koski will be wearing number 19. Joe Young in your program. Well, not in your program, but it will be now.
So Courtney is wearing 34.
Yep.
And what?
And Koski is wearing 19
Of course she is. Why wouldn't she be?
Well, you know.
Oh, because her number's 29? That's silly.
That's just, you take 10 away.
Jenkins free kick, bounced around, out of bounds, and a corner kick coming up for the Cardinals.
Ball played over the line by the Rebels. Corner kick coming up for the Cardinals.
Yep, musical jersey numbers.
It's always
That's
a
how
good
you
thing.
keep the TV
Well, with the
guys
new
dancing.
unis, they a couple players changed numbers.
I like the new unis.
I do like the new unis very much so.
Long serve to the back post, a little too far, and Misquick couldn't quite catch up. She'll track it down along the near sideline. Out of bounds, it'll be Coon Rapids throw-in. Throw-in will be handled by Caitlin Ackerman. She didn't change her number.
She did not.
Headed away by Hargroder. Rebels trying to push it up the near sideline. Bloomquist fighting for position. Played it into the middle. Comes back out. Nyland will touch over to Jenkins. A shot, but right at Carson Dreyer for the save.
Yeah, relatively easy save for Dreyer.
Callie Turner turns it back upfield, but out of bounds.
Husnick with the throw for the Rebels.
Rebels throw it in, turned right back upfield again by the Cardinals. Jenkins pushing it ahead of the defense. Bloomquist giving chase, but right at the edge of the box is Dreyer to scoop it up.
Coach Nimmer, when I had a chance to talk to Coach Nimmer, she said this is a team that's been taking some baby steps. They're trying to plan for section playoffs, and they're building each and every game, and they knew this would be a tough test for them tonight.
Nice job by Maddie Getchell to come back around and save that one on the end line. Misquick shot is blocked. This one spins back into the middle of the field. Koss battling for it, cleared back away. Caitlin Ackerman high, lofted one in toward the net, just batted away and right toward a bunch of red jerseys. Getchell plays it back to Jenkins. Jenkins over to Nyland. Tried to get it back to her. Jenkins double teamed. Ball cleared away, far side, giving chase to Callie Turner.
That's one that Coach Nimmer will tell our goaltender, just secure the ball, don't bat it back towards field of play.
Rebels trying to build an attack on the give and go. Cleared away out of bounds and out of danger by Hannah Engen.
Throwing for Cardinals.
You know, Coach DJ said we're really starting to buckle down our defense. They've tinkered a little bit more with the lineup, and he feels that he finally has it the place where he likes it, especially defensively. Kayla Ross has been playing exceptional in defense and goal for the last couple of games.
Jenkins pushes it behind the defense, too much on it. And it'll get down there to Dreyer where she can scoop it up. No chance for Koss to try and run onto it.
Cardinals with 3 wins in a row, a 9-1 win over Irondale, a 3-1 win over Andover, who was previously unbeaten, and then they won a win over Elk River.
Getchell puts that one right in on goal. Dreyer easily scooping it up. Getchell going to be called for the bump that sent the Rebel player to the ground. That's Anna Kautzman. Ended up on the turf. Emma Perkins pokes it back near side. On the run around the corner is Carly Martinson. She's cut off there by Hannah Engen. It's poked away out of bounds.
Well, Hannah Engen did a nice job of keeping her wide.
Danny Johnson to throw in for the Rebels. Headed right back toward the line and out by Maddie Getchell. Back and forth along the near sideline. Yeah, right back out to the Cardinals. Miss Quick trying to get around the corner, cut off. Ball cleared away by Sydney Elena. Allie Carlson ahead, trying to get it to Kaylee Martinson. Martinson stops up, waiting for some help. Clearing it in behind the defense, and Ross out to cut it off just in front of Ari Pogmani, who did have the great opportunity.
Yeah, great chance for the Rebels, but Ross able to come out and just poke it away. A dangerous situation for the Cardinals. You can see Ross got her leg tangled up too, but able to kick that ball away and keep it out of the, make sure she kept it out of the net.
Ends up at the end line and off the Cardinals, so a corner kick for the Rebels. Be taken by Allie Carlson. Serves it high and well away from the net. Wynn may have taken that a little further than she wanted. Shot by Hargroder was stopped up by the Cardinals on defense. Nyland kicks a high one back out near midfield, headed down by McIntyre. With it now is Danny Johnson, back to McIntyre along the near sideline, and she can't quite catch up.
Anna McIntyre in for Champlin Park. A little more than 10 minutes gone here in this first half.
Headed right back to Caitlin Ackerman. That's Maddie Getchell along the near sideline. Nyland taps it back, and high boot by Engen. Miss Quick in there battling. Has Koss there with her. It's going to be settled by Annie Lawrenson. And now Danny Johnson trying to play it up the sideline, but spins out of bounds. Back to the Cardinals for a throw-in. Keilani Verdick checking in for the first time. Nyland shields off the ball, gets it back to Jenkins. Cardinals working it to the far side, skipped away from Verdick, and good pressure there from Allie Carlson. Rebels being very physical early in this game, you know, just a little bump here.
Coach Nimmer played for Park Center, Joe. Graduated in 2005, played soccer for them.
Ooh, and this is a big foul. That's going to turn into a PK as Bloomquist was trying to cross out front. She got tripped up, and a penalty kick for Coon Rapids. Another look at it. Feet got tangled. Sarah O'Brien guilty on the infraction.
Great opportunity for the Cardinals here with 26:30 remaining in the first half.
Nyland will take it for Coon Rapids. Shoots and scores. Cardinals on the board.
Now they take advantage of the penalty down deep in the box and make the Rebels pay for the Cardinals get on the board first. It's a nice solid strike.
Goal comes in the 14th minute of play and puts Coon Rapids on the board.
Number 7, senior Taylor Nyland.
And that's got to be a little deflating to a Champlin Park team that has fought against the wind and
Right.
and even the Cardinals in chances to this point.
And more importantly for the Cardinals, that they get on top early, and they can play their brand of soccer. They're very defensive minded.
But don't go too defensive.
Well, no.
You got to put a second or maybe a third one in
I agree.
before you worry about focusing completely on defense.
Still plenty of time, quite obviously.
And that one's going to be called against Miss Quick for the dangerous play. Nyland pushes this one right back behind the defense and scooped up by Dreyer. Coming up to trap it is Courtney Ackerman. Turns it right back around, and again, all the way down and out of play, and a goal kick for the Rebels.
Well, the Cardinals so far in this first half been dictating the pace.
Goal kick taken by Sarah O'Brien. Rebels building an attack through midfield. This is Hargroder leaving it for help far side. Carlson cutting back to the middle. Had it knocked off her foot. Therefore, it is Pagmani. Near side, Danny Johnson. Tried to hand it off and now gets it back from McIntyre. Played it in, trying to get it to Pagmani. Courtney Ackerman, rather. Wait, no, that's Caitlin.
That was Caitlin.
That one's Caitlin.
Yeah.
Out off Pagmani, throw in Coon Rapids, and now out off of Johnson, throw in Coon Rapids. Maddie Getchell stops it up. Got it to Miss Quick, and then the pass a little too far down the line. Turned around, at least momentarily, by McIntyre. Now here's Danny Johnson with it. Back to Pagmani. Had to stop up for it. Pressured by Jenkins, who pokes it away. Miss Quick there. Pagmani pressures. Pass hits the official. Turned around by Hargroder. Far side, Allie Carlson working against Koss. And now cleared away by Verdick. This one gets too far in front of the attackers, and an easy scoop up again by Dreyer.
Again, the Rebels trying to mount something offensively. They want to see if they can even this thing up.
Whistle blows, another infraction against Coon Rapids, another free kick for the Rebels.
They have lost 3 in a row. Lost 2-1 to Armstrong and 5-3 to Maple Grove, and then on Saturday a 6-1 loser at the hands of North St. Paul. So they'd like to come back and get on the winning track here if they possibly could. Their 2 wins came against Irondale, 3-0 win over Irondale, and a 3-1 win at Park Center. Both their wins on the road.
And that had to be somewhat gratifying for Coach Nimmer to go
Yep.
back and get a win over the alma mater. Always a special place for that game. Danny Johnson turning near side, getting it to Pagmani. Well defended. And the Rebels are offside. Ackerman with a free kick from way deep in the corner. Stopped up momentarily by Kotzman. Hargroder got it back to Carlson. Broken up by Getchell. Skipped away from Elena. Far side giving chase is Husnick. Up the middle. Stopped up by Jenkins for Coon Rapids. Handed off for Koss. Koss into some traffic. Lost the handle. Pagmani back near side for Danny Johnson. Johnson touched a little too far. Turned around by Engen. Stopped up there on the back line by Sarah O'Brien. Hargroder tracks it down, cuts back against Koss, gets a little bit of space, slips past another defender, and then gets past Jenkins. Trying to get it in there for Alex Lotz. Lotz has to come back for it, broken up by Koss. Koss will play it out of bounds on the far side, throw in Champlin Park.
Yeah, I'm a little bit trying to mount a little bit of a threat. Getting a little pressure inside in the Cardinal end. Not getting an opportunity to get shots on goal.
A couple of players go down in a heap. It's going to go against the Rebels, and a free kick, Coon Rapids, as we're just over midway through this opening quarter. Coon Rapids a 1-0 lead. A 14th minute penalty kick by Taylor Nyland. The difference on the board. Misquick tracking down the sidelines, can't keep it in, back to the Rebels.
Yeah, the Cardinals taking a good advantage on that penalty kick earlier in this contest to take that 1-0 lead.
Yeah, really, despite having a heavy wind at their back, not really doing a good job of maintaining possession deep in the Rebel end. And you know, I've got them younged officially for 3 shots on goal. All 3 shots they've attempted have been on goal. That includes the penalty kick, which you better not miss the goal from there. But the other 2 had very little on them and were easy saves for Carson Dreyer.
Well, we talked about it with the boys that when they fell down 1-0 in that first game, you know, as long as Champlin Park continues to apply pressure and keep that score within a goal, they have an opportunity here.
Well, yeah, in fighting against this kind of wind, against a favored opponent, you've got to see it being down at 1. If you can get to the locker room down 1-0, that's somewhat of a victory. Yeah,
and on the flip side, Joe, for the Cardinals to be able to come and get a second goal here in the second half would be huge for them, because then they would squarely put the pressure on Champlin Park coming back if they can finish it that way to end the half. A lot of pressure.
And they really need it. They need to have that breathing room. You know, you weren't there for the Blaine game, but when they went up 2-1 against Blaine, they started playing very defensively and just playing long clears and trying to run onto it, and that allowed the Bengals to keep the pressure in their end, and they eventually got the game-tying goal on a corner, and then of course the game shortened by about 8 minutes due to lightning. But I thought Coon Rapids, definitely the superior team on the field that night, but what matters is the score on the board when the ref says the game's over.
Absolutely. That's all that matters at the end.
Danny Johnson's pass broken up by Aaron Jenkins. Got it back to Caitlin along the near side. She couldn't control. And a throw in for the Rebels.
Yeah, the longer the Rebels stay in this game, the more confidence they're gonna have.
Well, we talk about that all the time too. Close games always favor the underdog, quote unquote, when you get down to the end, because the pressure isn't on them.
No, and I think the favorite team at that point maybe presses a little bit too much.
Correct. And a McIntyre with the throw-in, stopped up by Verdick. Bloomquist gives chase along the near sideline, but can't get there in time.
Throw-in for the Rebels.
Pass a little bit behind Bloomquist, turned around there by McIntyre. Koss will play it back. Verdict trying to get it to Bloomquist. She's marked well. Caitlin had a touch on it, settled now and played ahead by the Rebels. Kaylee Martinson trying to get it out and get some help. Turned around again by the Cardinals.
Throw-in for the Rebels. And McIntyre with the throw.
Koss playing it upfield. Nobody on the far side in a red jersey. Annie Lawrenson had a touch on it momentarily.
Sam Nolan is number 11 for Champlin Park. We were wondering, we didn't have her on our roster.
And now we know.
We know.
Bloomquist nearly got behind the defense. McIntyre able to recover and break it up.
Throw-in for the Rebels. Now returning to the game, the Rebels number 4, Sarah O'Brien.
Sarah O'Brien's going to check back in for Champlin Park.
That one off the back of the shoulder of Bloomquist. Cardinals settle. Get it back to Maddie Kieran. Her pass broken up by Martinson. Back out near midfield is Callie Turner. Her pass taken away by Haley Hargroder. Turned right back towards Aaron Jenkins. Knocked away before it can get to her, and now Caitlin controls. Going to the far corner, too much on that pass. Played away by Husnick, and the Rebels played up the far sideline. We're under 15 minutes remaining here in the opening quarter. Coon Rapids a 1-0 lead on a penalty kick by Taylor Nyland back in the 14th minute.
And they've been protecting that lead since. But as you mentioned, another goal would be nice. Put a little cushion between them and the Rebels.
Looks like they're being handled by Riley's ball, free kick to the Rebels.
Out the far side, ball to the Rebels. No, ball to the Cardinals.
Micah Sutherland coming into the game for Champlin Park, number 13.
Now returning to the game, the Cardinals number 2, Maddie Jekyll. Instead of Tyler Nyland.
Nyland and Ketchel check back in for Coon Rapids.
In the game for the Rebels, number 13 sophomore, Michael Stone.
Martinson pushing it ahead, settling his lots, leaves it back there for Nolan. Nolan to the middle. Koss able to turn it around for Coon Rapids. Carrot, long pass, too far for Miss Quick, turned around by O'Brien. Stopped up that time by Kotzman. Hargroder far side. Able to get it back to Nolan. Nolan finds a little room. That pass a little bit behind Emma Perkins. She retreats to recover it. Plays it near side. Good hustle by Martinson to get there. Ahead for Nolan along the sideline. Nolan's pass is behind Lots and got her turned around and on the ground. Husnick trying to get through a couple of defenders, loses a shoe, looks for the call, won't get it. But Miss Quick will draw the whistle as she runs over her counterpart, Anna Kautzman.
Yeah, that'll you'll get caught.
Mirror number.
That's where she was looking for the infraction.
My shoe.
Gesundheit. Danny Johnson in for the Rebels. Both teams moving players in and out of the lineup. Trying to find that right combination.
One is out off of Verdict. Cause held up a little bit as Haley Hargroder fell on the back of her foot. Martinson again racing up the near sideline. Got a step on Verdict. Then able to cross and get behind her. Cross out front, headed in. Stopped up and lost the ball. The shot right in on Ross, but she's in position to make the save. And
great chance for Champlin Park.
Callie Turner got turned around.
Yep, absolutely. Not a lot on this shot.
Didn't know where the ball had gone, and Johnson fires it off, but Ross in a good position to make the save.
Yeah, relatively easy save for where the position was in front of the net. Yeah,
that's the best scoring
chance.
Opportunity we've seen outside of the goal kick, or the penalty kick for either team.
Yep. I agree.
Oh, here's Quick feeding Getchell behind the defense. Foot race, pressured from the left side. Getchell pass is deflected out the end line. Shot is deflected out the end line. It'll be a Coon Rapids corner.
A nice speed by Getchell, get to the ball and try and create something. But now
great recovery speed by Emma Perkins.
Yeah, to come back.
It looked like it might be a breakaway, but Perkins able to track her down from behind. Jenkins will take the corner. Swings it out to the middle, bounces back. Played back into the middle, and now a high lofted shot, and going up to get it was Dreyer.
Made it a little bit of an adventure where that was going to come down.
Not a lot on the shot by Kieran, but was in a dangerous spot to be certain. Emma Perkins running with it. Playing it ahead, coming back for it is Sutherland. Pass to open up Martinson in the corner, watched closely by Verdict. Cross attempt, stopped up, and cleared away out of bounds by Hannah Engen. Rebels right back on the attack off the throw-in. Sutherland tripped up a little bit by Jenkins, and this will be a free kick from a pretty good spot here for the Rebels. Coming over to take it is Annie Lawrenson. Lawrenson spinning it to the backside. Turner had no option but to clear it away out the end line, and a corner kick coming up for the Rebels.
Yeah, then another good opportunity. If she hadn't cleared that, I don't think Ross would have gotten to it before a Champlin Park player was right on the ball. So a good job defensively to clear it away.
Not even working.
Maddie Koski into the game for the Cardinals. Allie Carlson checks in, and we'll head over to take the corner kick. Martinson, an opportunity between a couple of defenders, but got under the ball a little too much, sends it up and over and out of play. A goal kick for the Cardinals.
Yeah, we saw that by the boys a little bit, too much air under the ball, but a good opportunity again for the Rebels. She got a good look at the net.
Misquick settles. Getchell running down the near sideline, trying to get it to her. Coming over to clear it away in front of her is Emma Perkins.
Yeah, Perkins did a nice job of just getting the ball first, clearing it away, giving her team an opportunity to set up defensively.
Engen plays it back to Verdick into the middle for Koss. Koss finding a little bit of room. Gets off a good shot off the post. And cleared away by Husnick. Koss will recover on the far sideline.
It was fortunate Husnick was in the spot she was. That she was able to clear that away because that they came out right in front of the goal.
Well, and I think the rest of the Cardinal attackers caught looking, watching the shot a little bit. Nobody charging, looking for that rebound, which obviously did come. Skipped away from Misquick a little bit, being bodied off it over there by Sarah O'Brien, cleared away by Husnick. With it is Sutherland. Husnick will send that one out of play. Just 4.5 minutes remaining in this opening half. Coon Rapids clinging to the 1-0 lead. There's another look at that. A lot of
work at the space there.
There was a lot of work for Emily Koss to find herself in an open space. Takes a good, strong shot.
She really did.
Low to the far post, and unfortunately it was low right at the far post. Martinson trying to get it in the middle for Pogmani. Misplayed by the defense. Pogmani battling and bumped off it just enough by Engen.
Well, it's a nice play by Engen because she bumped her off, but she didn't commit the penalty, and that was the key thing. You do not want to obviously commit the infraction down in that part of the field. She played the body well enough to ride her off the ball.
Koski far side in between a couple of Champlin Park defenders, lost out of bounds to the Rebels. Getchell. Pass stopped up, taken away by Kotzman. Nice touch to get it to Haley Hargroder with a little bit of space, and ball stripped right away by Aaron Jenkins. Jenkins trying to get it to Misquick. Misquick shielded off it pretty effectively by O'Brien. Played back into the corner. Misquick racing for it. O'Brien will tap it out the end line. Corner kick, Coon Rapids.
Again, the Cardinals doing a good job of just keeping the ball down in the Rebel end. Other than that shot that hit the post, not a lot of pressure, but nonetheless, they're on net. They're keeping it down in that end.
Jenkins will take this one. Time ticking away here in the first half. Looking for the back post, a little too high for Getchell. Misquick was there. Her shot blocked up as she went to take it. Verdick has it bounce away from her. Got it back for Nyland along the sidelines, and then was dumped for her trouble. And that will draw a whistle and a Coon Rapids free kick. Three-player wall for Champlin Park. Aaron Jenkins will take this one. Free kick, looking to the far post, and a goal for the Cardinals. Not sure if Koss got a piece of that as it went by. Miss Quick was in the vicinity as well, or if that one went directly in.
Well, that's
either way, Coon Rapids is up 2-0.
Yeah, and that's just a little bit of a breakdown defensively for Champlin Park. Let's see if she gets a piece of it. Oh, yeah, she definitely got a piece of it.
Got a piece of it.
And that's a big goal for the Cardinals as we wind down here in the first half. Now it does give them that 2-goal cushion. Emily Koss with the goal for the Cardinals, second of the night.
Well, I'm not sure what I think the Rebels were talking to the official about whether there was offside on the play or something, arguing that might not be a good goal, but the official has ruled a goal, explains his decision to the Champlin Park assistants, and will return to play. Just over a minute remaining here in the first half. Emily Koss will get credit for the goal on the assist from Aaron Jenkins.
Say under a minute remaining.
Well, and for Champlin, they have to know that they were right in this game, and penalty kick and a free kick where it just seemed that there were an awful lot of red jerseys where that ball was going.
Oh,
It
absolutely.
just was not defended well by the home team. But
yeah.
they created opportunities.
They did.
And they had a chance. Here's a corner kick if the Cardinals can hustle. Getchell will hustle. Try to play it back to Jenkins, and that's broken up. Cleared back out near midfield, and that'll pretty much do it for the first half. Coon Rapids will take a 2-0 lead to the locker room. And we'll see if the wind is consistent and helps Champlin Park in the second. They'll need all the help they can get. You're watching live girls high school hockey, or soccer, or basketball on CTN.
So I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Back at Champlin Park High School, Coon Rapids a 2-0 lead as we reach halftime of this girls soccer contest. And Coon Rapids the favorite coming in. They had the wind at their back, but still not a dominating performance through the first 40 minutes. They did get their tallies, but one comes on a penalty kick by Taylor Nyland, the other on a late free kick. But they did get some pressure down here at this end. But that one, we liked it so much it went back and forth. Why not? I call it every other sport. This is the second goal. Koss getting there to redirect the free kick from Aaron Jenkins. Rebels argued Coon Rapids maybe offside, but that argument fell on deaf ears, and the Cardinals have a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, I mean, look at the stats. 6 shots attempted by the Cardinals, 3 for the Rebels. 4 of those 6 shots on goal. 2 of those 3 shots on goal for the Rebels. And, and I think that late goal, Joe, really is going to solidify what the Cardinals want to do coming out in the second half. Obviously, they maybe see if they can get a third tally, but we talked about defensively up by 2 goals. We'll see what they have in store for.
Well, and the Rebels definitely had some opportunity in that first half.
They did, absolutely.
And really until the Cardinal free kick at the end and the shot off the post by Koss just a minute or two before that, they had I would say, the better scoring opportunities through the first 25 or 30 minutes of the first half.
Yeah, no
but
doubt.
They are going to need to capitalize on a couple. They trail by 2. Cardinals 2, Rebels 0. We'll have the second half after this on CTN.
Brush, brushy, brush, brushy, brush, brush your teeth. Every day and every night. Now it's your parents' turn. Here's what you gotta do. Let them have your toothbrush so that they can brushy brush your teeth. Great job, you're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Help your teeth stay healthy. Brushy brush with a grown-up every day.
Welcome back to Champlin High School. We're coming back to break. Coon Rapids Cardinals leading the Rebels from Champlin Park 2-0, Joe, and Champlin Park will have the work cut out for them here in the second half. But they will have the wind.
They will, and they will have the wind at their back, and they did show that they can get upfield and pressure the Cardinal defenders with a couple of different girls that showed they are dangerous on the offensive end.
Absolutely. But Coach DeJoy's got to be pleased with a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, especially when I would almost guarantee he was not happy with the way his team played.
I would
in that
think
first
not.
half.
Yeah, I would think that's correct. But the point, the fact that they didn't maybe play as well as he would have liked them to have played, and they have. But the fact is, they have a 2-0 lead, so he'll settle for that. But I'm sure he talked to his girls about what they need to do in the second half to tighten some of their play up.
Well, and of course, you'd much rather be ahead and not be playing well than be behind no matter how well you're playing.
Absolutely.
Rebels trying to control the ball down into the Coon Rapids end right away to start this second half. Hargroder moving to her left, finding a little bit of space to work with. A couple of Cardinals over to defend. Played it back for Carlson. That was knocked away by Misquick. They get tangled up. And Misquick gets called for the foul, trying to push off as Carlson had a hold of her. Another example of ref always sees the retaliation.
Yep.
High serve to the middle. Koss got up there and got a header on it. And now a foul called against Champlin Park. Ball played to the back line, stopped up there by Elena. Far side is Danny Johnson. She's got a little room to work with. We'll poke it ahead, looking to get it to Pogmani along the sidelines. Pogmani bottled up, now pushed into the corner where it's stopped up by Alex Lotz. Lotz tangled up there. Koss there to help out as the defender Rebels will have the throw in deep in the Coon Rapids end. Headed right back toward the sideline by Koss. With it is Hargroder. Again, the Rebels building their attacks, using the team play to move the ball around, but Coon Rapids keeping them to the outside and pushing it out of play whenever it gets dangerous. This one lost right back out of bounds by Alex Lotz. Throw in for the Cardinals. This one swept away by Engen, now out of bounds to Coon Rapids. Getchell settling, pressured from behind by Husnick. Cardinals push it deep to the Champlin end. Hustling back to retrieve is Hargroder. Near side for Carlson. One touch back to Hargroder. Trying to reverse field. A little out of the reach of Pogmani. Stopped up by Verdict for Coon Rapids. Misquick's pass a little behind Getchell, out of play to the Champlin Park Rebels.
That quickly, Coon Rapids turns. I'm sorry, Champlin Park turns the ball back to Coon Rapids.
Danny Johnson trying to get around the corner on Verdict. Verdict able to play it back to Engen, and Engen clears it away. And away from the ball, a little pushing and shoving. And it'll be a free kick for the Cardinals.
We talked it was a little bit physical in the beginning of this contest between these two squads. A little bit carrying over here in the early part of the second half.
Well, the Northwest Suburban is traditionally a pretty physical conference.
Yeah, absolutely.
And maybe even more so in girls soccer than it is in boys. And that's not to say cheap, but physical.
Right.
Putting bodies on
absolutely.
each other. Playing it legal. I mean, we haven't really seen a lot of fouls in this contest, but definitely a lot of physical play. And I guess it was just a little bit of a surprise that more of that physical play was coming from the Rebels. Coon Rapids has been known to be a very physical team in the past as well.
They have.
Maybe not quite as many bodies, big bodies as they have had in years past, but definitely still some girls on the field in red that are not going to shy away from a little bit of contact. Far side, this is Emma Perkins pushing it to the corner. Pogmani marked closely by Engen along the sideline, able to get around her. Verdict is there, but Pogmani gets around her as well out front. And it's a little chip shot as Carlson got way underneath that one. Good position by Kayla Ross to make the save.
Yeah, and she had an attacker right in her face, too, when she was able to bring that ball in.
Nyland ends up on the turf. The whistle blows, a free kick for the Cardinals. This is Danny Johnson trying to get around Koss. Koss comes away with it. The Rebel fans want a call, but to be honest, Johnson initiated the contact, and Koss was just the stronger player. This one played back to the near side, too far out of bounds. Throw in Champlin Park.
Well, Cardinals really have not had a lot of offensive opportunities here in the second half so far. What we talked about, they'll want to protect that lead, but they also like to increase it if they get the opportunity.
Well, nearly able to spring Misquick behind the defense. Sydney Elena providing close defense on her, though. Verdict steps up and is going to fire this one right at the net. Booted away by Dreyer, and the Rebels will clear near side to Allie Carlson.
Well, it's a dangerous boot. We saw Dreyer kind of push one out in front of the net instead of bringing it in. In the first half, they could have led to a goal. That one, she just kind of booted it out weakly in front. Unfortunately for her, there wasn't a Cardinal there to offer an opportunity to put it in the net.
Sam Nolan will tap it out in front of Maddie Bloomquist.
And Jenkins, control.
Trying to get Getchell into the corner, and Getchell can't get around Kautzman. It'll be a goal kick for the Rebels.
Rebel goal kick.
Stopped up and turned on by Carlson. She's stopped up by Jenkins. Jenkins sending it to the far side. Nobody crashing on the back post for Coon Rapids.
Yeah, she was looking to see if she can get something set up on the far wing, but unfortunately no red jerseys there to accomplish that.
This is Nolan cutting through the middle. Her pass broken up, but came right back to her. Nolan stride for stride with Engen. Stops up, finds a little bit of space in the corner, over to help out, and clear it away. Another number I don't have on my roster. Any other changes you didn't tell me about?
That's
that
all,
one,
that's all I
a
know.
dangerous one, and Ross able to punch it up and over.
And a
Be a
good
corner
chance
kick.
for the Rebels there.
You don't have a 12 on your adapted Coon Rapids roster?
I can.
There's
No,
a
I
12
actually
on
I
the
do not.
field. This one booted toward the back post, a redirect shot up and over out of play. Well, at least the
Megan Langworthy is number 12 for Coon Rapids. The guys up
PA
here know. The
announced.
guys up here know.
PA guys got that memo.
The home team announcers, of course, did.
Well, you know. I haven't seen an email during this win streak either.
No, maybe
Just
maybe that's purposeful.
shot from a ways out. Ross pretty easily makes the save. Well, you know, when things are going well,
Yeah, there's no reason
maybe
to. Superstitious. He's superstitious about sending an email. Now things are going well, so that's okay. We'll be all right with that. If they keep winning, we'll abide by that rule. Maybe.
I don't know. I get pretty touchy.
I know.
when it comes to
I do too.
statistics.
I miss them. I miss the 10-page emails from Coach Dijo.
Well, you still get them for fantasy soccer, though.
No, those
right?
are about 20 pages.
All right.
That's like a small. It's like a novella.
Nice job by Carlson to switch directions with that one. Gets it into the middle for Pogmani. Back to Hargroder. Hargroder turns, gets around Getchell. Getchell still giving chase. She cuts back to the middle, might find a little bit of room. Pressured by Ackerman, and they end up on the turf and right at the top of the 18, and they're gonna put it just outside the 18.
Yeah, and they're fortunate in that situation because I don't think she needed to have the body contact at that point. I think the shot was just about released by the time she hit her.
Well, and I don't know that she knew she had help defensively behind her either. But this one is just outside the 18. So not quite a penalty kick. There's a wall in front of her, but Allie Carlson, from a pretty good spot, should be able to hit a corner. Instead, she hits dead center, and Kayla Ross is there.
Yeah, again, she comes up with a save, and good opportunity for the Rebels there. Their best of the second half.
Skips out. Blomquist thought it was off Champlin Park, and Hargroder wisely just said, okay, we'll take it. Caitlin Ackerman is going to check back in for the Cardinals.
Number 3, Caitlin Ackerman back in for the Cardinals.
Another good demonstration of that physical play, and Lotz wins the ball back to the defender Kotzman, and her pass misdirected, sent back in by Ackerman, and Misquick will give chase, but just at the top of her box is Dreyer to pick it up. Verdict turning it up the sideline, skips out of bounds off the head of Danny Johnson. It'll be Coon Rapids ball. 26 minutes remaining here in the second half. Coon Rapids leading 2-0. Both those goals coming in the first half. A 14th minute PK for Taylor Nyland. And then in the 39th minute, off a penalty kick, redirect, Emily Koss gets the goal.
And the Cardinals just getting the ball down in the Rebel end and trying to take a little more time off the clock, but plenty of time left, 25.5 minutes remaining in this contest.
But again, that's the trap that the Coon Rapids can't really fall in, is being so
Too
defensive.
conservative, or too
that
conservative.
All they're doing is clearing the ball and allowing Champlin Park to come back and build attacks and get possession in their zone. Coon Rapids really needs to see a little bit of the possession time in the other end, not just the ball being in the other end. But in the second half, I've seen a lot more of the ball bouncing around and just one touch clears.
Right.
It's like almost like both teams, certain players at least on each team, have an aversion to the ball. They don't want to near them.
Free kick coming up for the Cardinals. Aaron Jenkins with that free kick.
Oh, I don't know how I don't know how you call that one against Coon Rapids. She was standing still, going for it, had position, and Alex Lotz ran into her.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I'm not sure how that goes against Coon Rapids, but a benefit for Champlin Park if they can do something with it. Allie Carlson ready to boot it away. Kind of a long ways out. You could still, with that wind, get one indirect playoff, but just not quite enough boot on it. Carlson gets down, stops up, takes a shot. It's going wide, not a play. Goal kick for the Cardinals.
Again, the Rebels doing a good job of just trying to keep the pressure down in the Cardinal end, trying to come back from that 2-0 deficit.
Well, unofficially, they control the shots category. By my calculation, just one shot attempted, and it was on goal. For Coon Rapids here in the second half. Meanwhile, Champlin Park has 6 shots attempted and 4 on goal. The unofficial.
Of course.
The unofficial's 2-0 in CTN Fantasy Football.
I know, I like that.
Might have to keep that team name. I didn't change it, but it seems to be working.
So far, anyway. Until you go on that losing streak. Then maybe you'll change the name.
And then they will be underachievers once again. Good pressure from Emily Koss to point that ball behind the Rebel defense. Cleared away out of bounds, and Champlin Park penalty, or a Coon Rapids penalty. Champlin Park free kick. Call Koss for running into Elena. You know, with what they've let go, it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting some of the calls that they've made with all the stuff that they've let go in this contest.
Maybe they're just trying to make up for the ones
here's
they
a
missed.
2v1 for developing for the Cardinals. Good job coming over to break it up by Emma Perkins. Cleared away out of danger.
Yeah, we've seen Emma Perkins make a couple of nice defensive plays for the Rebels, able to keep the pressure out in front of the net.
It'll be a Coon Rapids corner from the near sideline. Aaron Jenkins will handle the responsibility.
Last time they had a corner, they scored. That was off a corner kick, wasn't it? Yeah, that was off a corner kick. Their second goal. Oh,
Good position for Koss on the header, just couldn't quite get the angle on it. It's well up and over and out of play.
Looks like keeper Carson Driver with the kick.
Dreyer kicks that one short, headed by Misquick for the Cardinals. Back to the corner for it is Perkins. Let it go out of bounds and throws it right back in. Headed by Caitlin Ackerman, bounces around a little bit. Misquick trying to control, trying to cross. That's blocked up, back out of bounds. Still Coon Rapids ball.
Well, just as a spot, Joe, you talked about earlier, the Cardinals now down in the Rebel end would like to take some time off the clock by controlling it down in their end and getting a good look at the goal.
Yeah, absolutely. To possess the ball in the offensive end, to work with it, to take that time off the clock, and to develop good scoring chances.
Exactly.
But to sit back and play defensively, I mean, you obviously want to have a focus on the defensive end, but you can't if you spend the rest of the half back in your defensive end.
I mean, a third goal at this point would seal it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Too many chances for the Rebels to get one, gain a little momentum, and all of a sudden you got a whole new soccer game. Lots running through the middle. She's taken down. No call that time, though. Koss will clear it away near side. Giving chase is Husnick.
Halfway through this second half. Under 20 minutes remaining.
Lundqvist was offside. When the offside player comes back to the ball, doesn't that mean they're no longer offside? But it's when it was when the ball was struck. But it seemed to me there were other defenders behind her. What do I know?
Well, you know it's not hockey.
Apparently I don't really know that.
But you do deep down.
I tried to call it hockey. End of the half. Shot goes wide for Alex Lotz. Out of play. Goal kick, Coon Rapids. But again, now we see this ball right back into Coon Rapids' defensive end.
Maddie Getchell back in for Coon Rapids. And Anna McIntyre in.
Allie Carlson's corner. Backside attempt by Johnson was blocked. This one sent back in and right back out by the Cardinal defense. Lotz pokes it to the corner. Johnson trying to track it down. Burdick lost her footing. Johnson crossing out front. Lotz overran it. Boy, she was close to having a perfect shot.
Yeah, there's a
Misquick going to be called for that one as she put a pretty good shoulder into Emma Perkins that time.
Yeah, she's not disputing this one at all. That's a check.
May be hockey after all.
Yeah.
She disputed it a little. You have to. Headed down by Engen. Recovered by Hargroder. She's stopped up by Caitlin Ackerman. Pressuring there is Lotz. Ackerman and Lotz tangled up. And Lotz will get the call. She's on the ground, covering the ball.
Now, a little clearance and opportunity for the Cardinals to see if they can move it back down to the Rebel end.
Well, Cardinals able to push it down into the Champlin Park end and again pushed out of bounds. And they, you know, when you're up 2-0, under 20 minutes in the second half, every time the ball goes out of play and has to be thrown back in, it's a little bit of a win. Ooh, misplayed by the defender, and Getchell got a little too excited,
She
maybe.
did.
Wait, are you just giving this to me? Rebels trying to mount the attack the other way, skips off the head of Lotz. It'll bounce in on Ross. And yeah, you can take your time with all of these little
Absolutely.
things. Punting it away, your goal kicks, your throw-ins. That one skips right past Hargroder. Settled by O'Brien. Near side for Carlson. Trying to get around Getchell. And lost out of bounds. Rebel ball.
Throw-in. The Rebels. Now returning to the game is number 12, Champlin.
Anna McIntyre will throw it in.
And that throw for the Rebels.
Hustling for it is Martinson. Martinson crosses to the middle, stopped up by Caitlin Ackerman. Header by Pongmani. And now near side is Carlson. Trying to settle, can't keep it in along the line. Langworthy with the throw it.
Gotta like the pressure that the Rebels are at least keeping the ball down in the Cardinal end, giving themselves that opportunity.
That one just served toward the net. It skipped off the Cardinals out the end line. Another corner kick for Champlin Park. One put into a good spot. The header is out of play and a foul before that anyhow, and it'll be a Coon Rapids free kick.
Yeah, this is where you want to place the ball. Good opportunity for Champlin Park, but
that was a pretty easy one.
Yeah,
Kaylee Martinson just kind of ran in and ran over a couple of players, then put a head on the ball. It's easier to get to the ball when you just knock everyone else around you down.
Then you realize all of a sudden you have a lot of space.
Right.
The first kick for the Cardinals.
Carlson missed the pass attempt, missed quick. Battling along with Pogmani. And now getting it back is Carlson. Far side, running onto it, Perkins. Trying to cut back against Caitlin. Caitlin able to stop it up. Caitlin pushed to the ground, and that'll get another whistle.
The time continues to roll down with 13:40 remaining. Rebels are going to have to try and make something happen relatively quickly if they want to get back into this.
Yeah, still plenty of time, but
there is, I should say, but
they need the first.
They need the first goal relatively soon. Correct.
I agree with you.
Thank you.
More often than not.
Well, that's good.
Ooh, here's an opportunity. Good speed from Martinson. Left-footed attempt is just going to spin out. And be a goal kick for the Cardinals.
Coach DeJoy telling his squad to get the ball upfield, not in the middle, but upfield.
It's like he was listening to us.
Exactly.
Has he got a YouTube app going on there?
He might. It wouldn't surprise me.
Stopped up by McIntyre. Handed off there for Hargroder. Trying to get it far side for Danny Johnson. Johnson with Verdict right in her back pocket. A little touch passing, try and find some open space. Hargroder has space disappear on her. All of a sudden between four red jerseys and cleared away back towards center field by Hannah Engen. All the way to the back line for Sarah O'Brien. Perkins will play it back to O'Brien. Back to Perkins far side. Quick touch to the middle, high hop. Turned around by Verdict. McIntyre steps up to take it for the Rebels. Into the middle. And Koss tripped up by Alex Lotz.
Well, Lotz is trying to make something happen, and again, just a little too physical. Oh, yellow.
Yeah, she was playing aggressively, maybe a little bit tense. You talk about, you know, you're a little tense, you're down 2, you know, you're pushing a little bit. I am not certain that was worthy of a card, but evidently the official saw or heard something we did not.
Yes.
Because a lot of times it's what they hear
Not what they see.
that ends up getting the card out of their pocket. Got to control your temper on the pitch.
And again, Cardinals certainly will take their time getting this ball back into play. They're not in a hurry.
Koss will run onto this one and carry it across midfield into the Champlin Park end. Defender waiting for her is O'Brien. She'll run away. Carlson gives chase. Handed off to Kalena Verdick. Long shot in and not handled well at all by the keeper, but Dreyer able to finally flop on top of it.
Yeah, she misplayed it there, and we've seen a couple of misplays, but that time she was able to just get enough of the ball to fall on it to make sure it stayed in Champlin Park's possession.
And again, substitutions.
Take time.
Ball going out of bounds.
Yep, all takes time.
All favors the team in the lead. Lorenzen checks back in for Champlin Park. Under 10 minutes remaining now here in the second half. Coon Rapids still leading 2-0. Lorenzen plays it back to McIntyre. Back to Lorenzen. Far side, that one skipped away a little bit, and Caitlin Ackerman able to push it away from Perkins. Right back to McIntyre. Back near side, Carlson trying to find some room, trying to spin it into Pagmani, who's watched closely by Jenkins. Engen stepped up to break up the pass intended to get inside. Cross attempts. Ross is there to scoop it up.
Yeah, and that time Ross just at the right place, making sure she got a hold of that ball. And again, she'll nonchalantly walk up to place the ball before she kicks it.
Pagmani heads it right back to the Coon Rapids end and then gets it right back from Koss. Trying to feed it to Carlson. There first to play it out of danger is Courtney Ackerman.
Now returning the game for the Cardinals, number 16, Maddie Bloomquist.
Maddie Bloomquist back in for Coon Rapids.
Number 6, Alex Lotz.
Alex Lotz checks back in for Champlin Park.
Verdick able to clear it at least a little bit further away. Jenkins steps up to take that one away from Kotzman and plays it back to the Champlin Park end. Cleared out of bounds by Kotzman, but it went off of the Cardinals, so they will maintain possession.
See the time ticking away in the contest for Champlin Park. Still looking to get on the board.
Engen will play this one right back out of bounds, but smartly played it off of the attacker to get Coon Rapids to throw it.
Throwing to the Cardinals.
They stopped the clock with the ball having gotten so far away. So that benefits the Rebels a little.
Throwing to the Rebels. Now returning to the game for the Rebels, number 17, Captain Kaylee Martinson.
Kaylee Martinson back in for the Rebels. And she is definitely a presence on the offensive end. They need her now.
Yeah, no doubt.
Rebels offense collapsing, bringing a lot of bodies down into that 18-yard box. Carlson plays it high into the zone. Ross will grab it just in front of Sam Nolan. Played back to Pongmani. Martinson had it knocked away from Nyland. Pongmani has it back. A shot from a ways out. Going wide, but Ross able to stop it up and keep it in play and not lose it out the end line for a corner.
Almost misplayed that one.
Well, she at first was going to let it just go out the end line and get the goal kick, and then it kind of skipped up, and I think surprised her when it actually touched her. Nolan trying to reverse with the heel kick. Didn't quite work. Johnson forces it further down the line into the corner. Engen turns. And that one's out off of Johnson. And a Coon Rapids throw in as we approach 5 minutes remaining.
Now returning to the game for the Rebels, number 2, Haley Hartler. Number 7, Claire Huskins.
Rebels trying to get their scorers back on the field here late in this game, trailing by 2.
Well, that won't help.
And then a quick foul.
Yeah, that won't help them.
Violation of all against Rebels, coming up for the Cardinals. With that kick.
Settled by Nolan, played back to Perkins' far side. That one hopped up and got Engen in the hand. It'll be a handball.
And handball violation called. It'll be a free kick coming up for the Rebels.
The Rebels starting to show a little bit of urgency. They got to move. That one's just going to bounce through everything and out the end line. And no, Coon Rapids touched it. It'll be a corner.
Well, the one thing to say about the Rebels, even though they don't have a tally on the board, they put a lot of pressure down on the Cardinal ends here most of the second half.
Allie Carlson will handle the corner. Trying to swing it in, but just up and over and out of play.
Yeah, good thought, but just a little bit too much. And again, just too much mustard on it.
Yeah, some of the Champlin Park faithful in the stands in front of us started to cheer. They thought that swung right in, but up and over and out of play, a goal kick, and Now throw in on the near side. That one's mine. Oh.
Oh, almost.
You didn't know I could move that.
I didn't. You dove pretty well for it. They got it for wireless headphones.
A for effort.
Yeah.
Martinson turning with it, tried to send Hargroder in, and the pass just a little too far out the end line. Goal kick, Coon Rapids.
And we're under 2 minutes now.
Coming up to the Cardinals.
Martinson gets up above everybody else for the header. She's got a head start on that. She is definitely a presence when she's on the field.
Absolutely.
This one's settled by Husnick, moved ahead. Pongmani got all tied up. Here's Kaylee Martinson with it. Martinson. Back to Husnick, near side now for Carlson. Carlson trying to get around the corner on Nyland, lost it out of bounds as we cross under a minute remaining.
Well, this win will move the Cardinals to 4-3-1. And their record will be 4-2-1 in the conference. Champlin Park will fall to 2-8 overall, 2-5 in the conference.
And a big win for the Cardinals. That's 4 straight.
Yep.
For Coon Rapids. After a very slow start. As you mentioned, now 4-3-1.
Yeah.
They were 0-3-1 to start the year and have now reeled off 4 in a row.
5, 4, 3, 2.
And this one is in the history books. The Cardinals will win on a couple of first half goals, one on a penalty kick by Taylor Nyland, the other by Emily Koss, with under 90 seconds remaining in that first half.
Yeah, nice win as Coach DJ comes out to congratulate his goalkeeper and the rest of the squad as they get the win. And they have a tough one coming up as well. They will take on Anoka on Thursday at Anoka.
But for now, they have the momentum, the wind beneath the wings of the Cardinals as they move to 4 straight victories, 4-3-1 overall. Here's a look at what we have coming up for you here on CTN. Swimming and diving coming up on Thursday as the Cardinals and the Bengals do battle for supremacy of the Northdale Middle School pool. And then football on Friday, Coon Rapids at Andover. And then next Tuesday, volleyball at Irondale. Cardinals and the Knights. But that's going to do it for this edition of CTN Sports. Again, the final score from Champlin Park. It's Coon Rapids 2, the Rebels 0. Want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Alex Shapiro, I'm Joe Young. Say goodnight.